Okay, hello. This is going to be one of a series of, I should sound more excited. This is going to be one in a series of different analyses for a corporate model, and I have to admit I've been extremely frustrated by this. It's, for me, uh, corporate model is so much more, in a way, frustrating and sometimes
Qui a un parcours
more
très
difficult.
intéressant
Excuse
que
me for that. That was trying to. Oh no, what am I doing? Um, it's very interpreting these ratios is very tricky. It's really tricky interpreting multiples or debt to EBITDA ratios and all of that. So this is I'm gonna do some simulation, and the first thing I'm gonna try to do, and it's gonna take a few videos to get this done, is going to take a project by project analysis, and I'm working on and I'm wasting a whole lot of time on something which is ridiculous, kind of. But I'm trying to make a case study of an airline company that I worked on years ago. We thought it was a good company, and it went bankrupt twice. This airline company, here's really what happened. Let me show you it. It did an IPO, and its stock price went up. And then a few years later, 2 years later, or less than 2 years, it said, I'm such a good company, I'm going to buy on this second company. So this little red thing was the existing company. It bought the blue company. And then I'm going to use this to really describe how to make a source and use analysis, well, more merger analysis. Show you all the kind of dangers you could get into. And when they did this analysis, here's what happened. If you look up here, the debt to EBITDA ratio was 3.68. That seems reasonable. Just a second. Where's the? If I can't find this, the debt to capital ratio, 56%. That's not bad. The interest coverage of well more than 3 times. That seems pretty good. Why shouldn't this have been just a very nice little merger to increase the stock price? What actually happened is that they thought they were going to increase the EBITDA with synergies and all of this. And the company went bankrupt, demand went down. Here's the price of airline services after taking up fuel costs, which is very tricky and very difficult to really do. And there's the return on invested capital, and they thought it was here, and of course it went way down, and that's because the cost of an airplane went so far down after the year 2000. And this is ancient history, but it's worth studying. So I'm in the middle of kind of analyzing this, and I think kind of using a plane example is pretty good, because what we'll do here is figure out what the real drivers of the value are. And this is how much return do you actually get on one plane. And then what happens if the value of planes goes down, and then everybody's going to get that same return, your existing investment is going to fall flat. Or what happens if this return goes up? And I at least want to show you that these are the real things that matter. And then we of course have growth rates, but the growth rates aren't some just random thing. They're how much do the planes actually go. And that, now the life of planes can have a really big effect. If the life of planes shorter, you have to you have to continually reinvest them. So we're gonna make kind of a tornado diagram and other things, and then the maintenance expense on the existing planes. That's actually what killed them. Now this time we'll start with 0 existing planes, and then we'll just do a simple project analysis. So we're going to make a project analysis and then add it into a portfolio. So I'll put project assumptions, and we don't need a different one here. Now I've got the generic macros open. So oops, shift control C. What did I do? Just a second. I didn't realize you could get rid of I accidentally got rid of the grid lines. I didn't even want to. And I suppose I'll put inflation down here. That's really, and we're going to start with some very, very simple assumptions. And okay, and whoops, and the investment cost is here. Now this is sounds let's divide it by 1,000. I'm not gonna do it. So this is how much EBITDA we need without any inflation. Now I didn't do this completely yet, so let's just call this project analysis. Okay, and then what we're going to do is first do a project by project analysis, and I think I'll stop there, and then after that we'll do a portfolio analysis. So that'll be my second video, and then we'll put in the existing planes, which will really make the whole thing a little more difficult. Okay, and so let's start with our timeline as usual. Now I am going to, I hope, oh god, Alt EIS. Okay, I hope I've shown you. Let's say we have as much as 30 years on a plane. Just press that like magic, and it works. And then let's put a switch. Okay, I don't know how badly we really need this switch, but let's make it less than or equal to the life of the project. Shift Control R. Okay, and if you want to show the thing, Shift Control T and Shift Control F. Set the thing by the thing and then colors. And then we can put EBITDA. Let's put our investment first. Now what we really want to do is that's enough. And then we'll put cash flow. We want to be able to change this and have the evaluate what happens if, say, the investment goes down, but the rate of return stays the same. What happens to the value of our company? We don't have to make some really fancy financial model, but we really have to understand how these key drivers really work. Press the F4, excuse me. Shift Control 1, Shift Control R, and let's put our net cash flow. Now, years ago in the 1970s, I'm showing you just how ancient I really am. I hope you appreciate that somebody my age can still type in Excel. You know, let's put the IRR here. So eventually we're also going to do a goal seek, but we'll make a dynamic goal seek. So we shift spacebar, Shift Control P. So I happen to put this here. This is I did with the goal seek before. We're going to make it a dynamic goal seek. So when we change the IRR on the plane, it automatically changes the EBITDA over here. So this is going to be just an equal sign, and we can change the lifetime of the planes and see which variable really is the instrumental variable in changing the things like the PE ratio, the return on equity, the market to book ratio, we're going to put the EBITDA ratio. Okay, and we'll look at how those ratios change over time, change with different growth rates and all of that. So this is my attempt at really getting a little more into growth into corporate models. Now if we put the straight line depreciation, okay, of course, well, I'll put the rate as 1 divided by the life. Excuse me. And then we can take our investment and multiply it by the rate and multiply it by the year. Not very exciting, really. Control R, and we can get our net investment straight is we'll start with our first investment and then just take that and subtract it out, and it better go to 0. And then we can put the ROIC, and we have this standard thing that always happens. Whoops, let's first put our EBIT, which is our EBITDA minus the depreciation, and then we can put our ROIC, which is the EBITDA divided by the last year's investment. Shift Control P, Shift Control R, and I suppose I should put a little if statement, E26. Okay, that's that. And there's the standard kind of thing where the return on investment goes up. And if you do a weighted average, I tried this, the LCOE, the levelized cost of electricity, or the production cost, you can compute by saying the NPV. So let's do the weighted average. Now what we do is we take the weighted average of the amount we earn, which is the NPV, at the discount rate, which is the IRR of the the EBITDA divided by, or EBIT, excuse me, and this should be NPV. Okay, and we take that and we divide by the NPV, the same rate. Oh, come on. And then we take that same rate and take okay, and we get, I think that's close enough to 10, because I think the only reason it's not exactly 10 is because of the Gaussic thing. So we can take a weight. Now let me try a different weight. So if we take that, just to illustrate why that works, if you take first the investment divided by the sum of the investment, that's our first weight. Why didn't that work? Uh-oh, shit. This one, okay, somebody's around. And then we also, well, I don't know if we can do this. I can't do this all at one go. I'm going to have to take the PV factor, which is 1 divided by 1 plus the discount rate raised to the power. And let's copy that, and then we multiply that by the, okay, and we gotta put it in brackets. I shouldn't have tried this on a video because it's gonna mess up, but so let's take this one divided by the sum of the whole thing. Okay, so we have two different weights. I think, let's see if this works. Combined. Now some man told me my videos are useless because I don't have a real point. Here's the point of this one, is that whenever you have ROI and IRR, they're the same thing. So now we can do our weight. And I hope the other point of this is to show you that just how fast you can kind of compute weighted averages. This better sum to 1, and then we put our weighted. Okay, and put some product. Okay, that's the, you can just put the whole kind of thing. And it worked. Okay, that had me nervous. $100. Now, instead of doing that, here's the problem that, you know, the ROIC goes up. But that's all due to the depreciation. So we could actually compute economic depreciation. Now, this is, we'll have to modify this if we have some inflation. But we'll just put equal PPMT. That's, and then let's put the rate as the discount rate, the IRR, and then put the period as the period here. And then the number of periods is the 10. Okay, so it'll all be at least flexible. And then the PV is the minus and the investment. That's good enough. Okay. Shift Control R. And I suppose we should only do it if it's the switch. And then if you know, you're one of these people who hates it to see false at the end, you can just multiply this stuff by 1. Okay, and so that adds up to our investment cost. Now if we then compute our EBIT with economic depreciation, now that's what I said, I haven't really done this since the 1970s. And I'm sure I didn't have Excel back then. So this is what our EBITDA, EBIT is with depreciation. And then let's put our net investment with economic depreciation. Okay, and we'll start with our same beginning investment and subtract the depreciation. And why didn't that work? So let's do this. Control and space bar. Make one of them a little wider. Oh shit, something went wrong. Okay, let's fix this. Okay, I must have made it a percentage or something. So something, and again, I still did something wrong. Because this should have been this minus the economic depreciation. And then, so our net investment goes down, but it goes down in a different way. And now we can put our ROIC with economic depreciation. And that's the EBIT divided by the last year's. And look at this, we always get our same regular old IRR. So put EFE 37, okay, and then we'll put our economic depreciation rate, okay, and that's going to just be the economic depreciation divided by our balance. Shift Control P, Shift Control R, and we are going to demonstrate kind of how the economic depreciation works versus the regular old straight line. It's an ancient issue, but it unfortunately has this funny little effect on the way we do the analysis. And I think these are a little more advanced issues. So this is going to kind of like be my stupid little series on advanced project finance issues. And maybe we'll kind of call this advanced corporate finance, and we'll put a little box here for economic. Okay, and be able to switch between those two. And I suppose I should spell economic depreciation right, but you don't have to watch me do that. And that's the end of the first kind of introductory video. And why did I do that? Okay.